Well, I tell you what, there's nothing like a win, is there? And so I've been excited to do this for the last, it's been probably about 24 hours now. And so let's just get straight back into it. Let's go back to Baseball Stars and let's see what we can do here and see if we can't get ourselves another win today. First thing that we're going to do, though, is we're going to go take a close look at this team. And we're going to see sort of what our options are. So remember, we have $31,000. When we look here at our team, as I open this up here, you can see that we do already have one slot that's not filled. I'm not going to try to get this person up, max 49. So the maxes that you want here are probably a little bit more along the lines of like this guy, 77. This is the sort of guy we want to build around, somebody who has a max potential of like 70s, high 70s, or low 80s if we can even get that. So these two guys, third baseman and first baseman, are the sort of guys that we really want. This is also a good 72. A lot of these other guys I'm not sure about. This guy's going to be our star, max 80, and so on and so forth. There are a couple of pieces of advice that I found on the internet in the strategy guide from GameFAQs that talk a little bit about like the max you can find and stuff like that. Now, we can't see him anymore, but trust me, the guy we had at shortstop there had a really, really bad maximum rating. And so what we're going to do here first is we're going to see if we can hire somebody. We're actually going to look for a female. And I think right now we're looking mostly for good defense. And I don't know, what do you think about this? Max 82, I have a feeling that this might be who we want. And so let's go ahead and go for it. Get 5 bonus points, right? So we like that right here. We want her probably to have, well, I don't know, we could do all prestige if we wanted. Probably want a little bit more defense, a little bit of hitting, a little bit of batting, and then we'll do 2 over there in prestige. And now, since we know that this is going to be a player that we really want, and Rook 1 is an awful name, we will change her name. Oh, there we go. So we're going to call her Lucy. And you'll see as my dog looks up at me, my dog's name is also Lucy. But this is not being named after my dog. You'll understand sort of like what the method is behind our madness here pretty soon. So we have a little bit of money left to do some power-ups if we really want to. I suppose that we can. Yeah, why don't we do a little bit of power up here for her? See, we get 5 bonus points out of it. And I mean, I don't know. We probably do want to give her like a little bit more hitting, but then we want to get this prestige up. And that's probably going to be about it for now. We'll probably have Lucy in the lineup today. I'm not sure whose space she's going to take, but we'll figure something else. She'll probably take the space of CA1, I'm guessing. So that's probably what we're going to end up doing. Let's just do that for now. And we'll sort of gradually make a couple of changes here as we go through. So CA1 was the catcher. We're going to put Lucy into catch and see if that doesn't help us out a little bit. And as time goes on, we'll probably end up getting sort of a more regular lineup, and we'll get something that maybe makes a little bit more sense. Now, the other goal that we have today, since it worked so well last time, is to take a lot of pitches, except when they throw it the middle like that, I'm not going to be able to hold off. I do believe, as others have said, that you can probably hold up or down or left or right to do different things with the ball when you swing. So like right there, I held down and we ended up getting kind of a bloop base hit on the little floater over there to left field. Of course, that time I held down and I ended up getting a grounding into what was almost a double play. So maybe sometimes it works, maybe sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, so one of the goals that we have here today is to try to force them into using all of their pitchers as quickly as we possibly can. And one of the other goals, of course, is to win and get a little bit more money for our team. Well, that was close. That's that warning track power that we talk about. So, it's pitcher B1 out there for us. Remember, we used all 5 of our pitchers in the last game. Again, I'm not 100% sure exactly how the fatigue system works in this game, though I assume that there is one. And that didn't work so well, so maybe I should have held down over. Somebody was telling me in the comment section, you can speed your throw up a little bit by holding down the button of the base that you're throwing to. Oh, man. Or we can just give up a 3-run homer. Well, I tell you, even if we were going to go try to climb the wall to catch that, that wouldn't have done anything for us. So we're down 3-0 already. And that's the way that this game starts off, and so maybe we're going to regret spending all of that money on a rookie right off the bat. But that, I tell you, that maximum really, really has me kind of excited. So we'll see what we can do here. It's not over yet. Alright, so far so good. We're only down by 3 runs. I'm sure that we can make those up. See if we can get rid of Nobe here. What I'm curious about is if we can get the computer's pitchers so fatigued that they wind up throwing a whole bunch of really tired and ineffective pitchers at us. That would be probably the best strategy to win. Anyway, so it is. This is one of those games. One of those games where you want to take a lot of pitches. I'll tell you, the game where you really want to take a lot of pitches, though, is Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball on the Super Nintendo. There was a period of time where I was doing a project where I was trying to play through an entire season of that one. That didn't last long. I think I got about 2 or 3 games into that. But that was before I started putting these games up on the channels, so maybe we can get back into that or do some sort of similar project in the future. I'm not sure. That might have actually been called a ball if I just let that one go through, huh? Well, he's throwing it right where I'm not going to be able to let it go through. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can come back in this game. That one I hate. That looked just like the ball right before it. It's really hard to tell the difference between those pitches. And that drop pitch is always going to get me confused because sometimes it drops, but as we saw yesterday, sometimes it doesn't drop, and you have to kind of like know which one is which, and there's really no way to know. But we got a base hit out of it anyway. All right, and here comes Lucy for her first base hit. She's got an average of 0-0-0. I said her first base hit is for her first at bat, but it turns out to be her first base hit. And she winds up with a double out of it. And I would say that's a single, and she advances to second on the throw to home. Because I'm not sure why exactly they're throwing to the plate, but whatever. Yeah, that'll do it. Well, we came close. We're getting base runners, and that's the important part. Anyway, it's going to be kind of one of those projects where, hey, that was pretty nice. See, it didn't drop that time. This is going to be one of those projects where it is going to take us a little while to really, really get things sort of up to the point where we're feeling comfortable. And so I think really the first goal that we have with this project is to try to fill the team up with as many people with high potential as we possibly can. And as we figure out who our starters are really going to be, that's where you're going to see me change the names of more people. And it'll probably take, I'm guessing, a couple of weeks for us to get things to where we have them really where we want them. I suppose it was a fair ball. It looked foul to me. But I guess there's no video replay in this game, is there? See, I gotta stop swinging at that because that's a ball, and he's got me in on the hands. This is gonna drop, I hope. Nope. Good catch there in shallow right. We have high batting averages, I'll tell you that. That's that pitch again. I got just a little bit of the plate. Those are those pitches that the robo-ump will give you. I think they're going to do the robo-ump pretty soon here in the majors. And I mean, to be honest with you, with 2 strikes, there's no way I'm going to take that. Well, so much for that. So we're still down 3-0. But it's still early, we still have a little bit of time. So if you're curious and you're not familiar with Baseball Stars, the averages and so on that are shown here are actually the averages from this league. They're not sort of what the players are expected to be hitting. It's a little bit different than in Versus mode where it will show you what the players are expected to hit. And the expectations, of course, come completely from what the player's ratings are. And unfortunately, pitcher B is not going to last very long. Boy, he's really having a hard time delivering it to the plate, and that is gone, gone, gone. All right, now it's 6-0, so we better start scoring some runs here if we want something good to happen. Now, one of the things that will help with the pitchers is getting your guys some stamina, but the problem, of course, is that you only have so much money to improve the stamina of your players. It takes a little bit of time to get everybody's stats, everybody's stamina, and everything up to the point where you want it to be. And I would argue that probably early on, the first thing that you need in addition to prestige is you need to get some hitting so that you can actually get some base hits and score some runs. That's the reason why I'm much more inclined to get our hitting up from the very beginning, especially if we're going to be playing a team like this a lot. So we'll probably end up actually playing like this full series against this the SNK Crushers. And then after we're done with this long, what did I say, 25 game series? After we're done with this, then we can start looking into like, okay, what does our hitting really look like? Do we want to, get better pitching and so on and so forth? The other thing I say is that, at least for me, I think that the real key is getting a lot of rookies instead of getting a lot of veteran players. It is nice and it's fun to have veteran players, and it can be a way to sort of like take a shortcut. But the name of this game really is player development. And since it's player development, you got to get a bunch of really, really young kids. That's kind of the key to success. I've said before that this game is pretty similar to Out of the Park Baseball, to OOTP. The place where it's most similar is that OOTP, like Baseball Stars, is heavily based on the players' ratings, as opposed to being based solely on just sort of like historical statistics or whatever. Baseball Stars obviously is similar because these players don't have any like real stats. Their performance is based mostly on what their ratings indicate their performances are going to be. However, we have a left field doesn't have very good fielder ratings. That wasn't very good. Or, I'm sorry, this is right field, not left field. Alright, that was weird. And that was the third out. How about that? So here's Lucy, our new player, is hitting 1,000. Can you remind me again what her power rating was? Because she's just hit two doubles. I guess that the power probably mostly impacts like how likely you are to hit a home run. But she's pretty impressive so far for a rookie. Yeah, I shouldn't have swung at that, I know. This has not been a good day for me. This has been kind of a, react, trust your first instinct type day, as opposed to, playing the way that we should be playing. Man, she's just not fast, is she? That was bad. Alright, we have a little bit of work to do, don't we? Alright, we'll try to work them in on the hands. Another one of those long outs, warning track power. See if we can get this drop pitch. Now. Yeah, that was a bad defensive job. I do think that at some point in time you do need your corner outfielders and your first baseman to have at least some sort of defensive ability. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. We're kind of in the right place, but not really. That was not as close as it really should have been. Well, 7-0 now. 8-0. The funny thing is that GameFAQs article about this game talks about it like, you know, the SNK Crushers are the team that's never seen a base hit or whatever. I don't know, whoever wrote that, I hope they're watching this. Because we're sure good at giving up base hits to this team, I'll tell you that. Alright, down 8-0, but we can score some runs. It's not over yet. See, what did I tell you? Base hit. We have them right where we want them. And besides, I wanted to make sure that, you know, you get your subscription money, you know, for the memberships in this video. Boy, I was a little bit out in front of that. There we go. Now we got a rally. We got the rally caps on. Oh, but they're going to change pitchers. Great. That was a really bizarre decision there by the computer AI. I'm not sure why they decided to go for the double play there. I'm also not sure why they called that a strike. That's an impossible pitch to hit. How am I supposed to hit that? That's alright, I'm still trying to get my Baseball Stars instincts back. By the time we're done with this project, I'm going to know more about this game than I've ever known in my life, I'll tell you that. It's been a long time since I had a real Baseball Stars project going on. I was probably like, I was probably like 15 or 16 or something like that when I was last seriously playing this game. And back then I felt like I was kind of a loser. Like, what am I doing, you know, living at home, going to high school and playing Baseball Stars all day? Oh, come on, man. That was in on the hands. Oh, jeez. There's your screwball. Fernando Valenzuela. You should go check out tomorrow's video if you haven't yet. So they get out of it. We don't score a single run from that. We're going to have to take pitcher C out. This isn't going to work so well for him. That fell a lot sooner than I thought it would. See, it's stuff like that where I still need a little bit of work to like make sure that I am totally accustomed. This is going to end the game. Nope, wasn't as deep as I thought. But I do need to put a little bit more work into this to make sure that I'm fully aware of like where the outfielders are when the ball is hit to the outfield. Sort of that's the sort of geez, there's nobody even there. That's a sort of I love softball thing, right? As I think I've mentioned before, one of the major problems with Baseball Stars is really the fielding system, because it's really, really difficult to tell where your fielders are. And so sometimes there can be some fielding decisions that you can't really make because you don't know where anybody is. You don't know, like, if you need to be moving up, if you need to be moving back and stuff like this. So it's kind of a concern. The other problem, the bigger problem I have is telling balls from strikes. That was going to be a ball. That was the strike? All right. I know, it's getting like a little sliver of the plate. Somebody was telling me that. But, yeah, this is what the problem is. All right, let's put our catcher back in here. Another anonymous guy. Hope that we can pull off a miracle. Yeah, he's just too slow. So that time, that was the ball. Okay. This one's going to be the strike. Yep, that was the strike. It was right over the outside part of the plate. right, there we go. And we're finally getting somewhere with this. And that's a strike, I guess. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. Some of those are balls, some of those are strikes. I'm having a hard time seeing the difference between them. Got hit by a 42-mile-an-hour fastball. 42 miles an hour, I don't even know how you can call that a fastball. Oh, they're gonna have a pinch hitter here coming up when the pitcher spot comes. Anyway, so despite the 14-5 victory in the last game, here comes the pinch hitter, we certainly have a lot of work to do with this team. We've got a long way to go before we're the place that we need to be, and that's going to mean a lot of games here against the SNK Crushers, that's for sure. So you're going to see sort of a lot of this team as we try to get our team up to the point where we're actually competitive. We should be getting to the point against this team where we can beat them basically by 10 runs every single time. And see, they've just beaten us by 10. This is going to end the game. Yep, told you. So we definitely are not quite to that point yet. We have a lot of work here to do before we get to the point where we're really competitive. Our new player did, I thought, fairly well, but as you can see, we get nothing for that, and so it's going to be a little ways to go before we kind of get to where we want to be. Now, the other thing is that these pitchers, there are ways that you can, yeah, they have a bunch of batting points as well. So there are ways with the pitchers where you can get the pitching skills up all the way. My understanding is what you want to do is you want to get stamina up probably the most, and then get everything else later on. But prestige you can add on over with their hitting abilities. So anyway, we'll get to that in a second. I'm not going to do any more improvements or anything to the team quite yet. We're going to try to play again tomorrow, I think, and we'll see if we can earn another victory. So there you go today. A little bit more disappointing this time around, but it's all right. That's just sort of the way it is. I'll talk with you again tomorrow, and we'll try once again. Talk to you then. Bye.